Did not participate was Anderson hamstring, Maurice Harris concussion, McCoy fibula, Inseki knee, Jordan Reed ankle foot, Ioannidis hamstring. Limited were Davis concussion, Bergstrom knee, ankle, Trent Williams thumb and wrist, Crowder wrist, Peterson shoulder, and there's one more. Don't know who that is. I can't read it. Oh, Karen knee. Zach Karen knee.
On roster things, will any of those guys who won't play go to IR this week?
There's a possibility. It just depends on if we need those spots for other players or not. If we have 46 guys here that can go out and play, we feel good about, we won't need to put anybody on IR. We'll just leave them as inactive. But if we need to get a spot, like for Ryan Anderson, for instance, if he can't go, we might need a spot there. And we could put one of those guys down.
And is anybody else coming into the building, or do you have all the guys you need for Sunday?
I think we got them all in the building. We signed Marquise Flowers, another inside linebacker, and got a couple guys on a practice squad that we added recently. So we should be okay. Alex Carter we added. Obviously, Stewart, Carlos Henderson, Tacho, so we've added some people.
Jay, ultimately, why did you decide to move on from DJ? And as much as you can tell us, what were the discussions like with him?
Well, discussions were private. I had multiple discussions with them in previous instances, and at the end of the day, we thought as an organization it was best for us to part ways. Obviously, he wasn't happy. He voiced his displeasure many, many times, and at the end of the day, we thought it was best for him to let him go and best for us moving forward.
He said that he made a number of suggestions, and obviously that's something that happens. Players and coaches have dialogue back and forth. What was it about the things he was saying or how he was saying them that was not constructive, and why you decided to make that move?
Well, I think if you read the articles, I think those aren't constructive. Having a suggestion whether to play zone or man is a suggestion. That's fine in-house. With a microphone in your mouth, it's not productive for anybody. So the fact of the matter is we didn't play good enough to win against the Titans, but we played good in certain areas, missed a few tackles here and there. We did play some zone. We played some man-to-man, and unfortunately we didn't get it done.
Did you know, after you've seen those comments, that this was probably the move you were going to make?
Well, I wanted to, we've had discussions before in the past, obviously, and, it's my fault. Ultimately, it's my fault. Obviously, I didn't make it clear to certain people that we don't talk about our business to the media. And for me to allow that to creep in is ultimately on my fault. So DJ did some great things here, without a doubt. We wish him nothing but the best. But at the end of the day, that's something that this franchise, or any franchise in my mind, can't afford to have. So we moved on.
There have been other situations in the past with other players, Mason situation, Zach Brown saying some stuff, whatever. What made this one? Was it just the repeated offenses in your mind that made this one different?
Yeah, it was repeated offenses. Yeah, I've had many talks with him before in the past, and obviously I didn't get through to him. So again, that's my responsibility. But at the end of the day, we decided as an organization to go ahead and move on.
So then, Jay, what is the plan at safety this Sunday, 1 through 4?
Yeah, we got Ha still. Obviously, DeShazer Everett's played a lot of ball for us. Jeremy Reeves has been an upcoming talent that we are very interested in. We're going to move Harlan Miller to safety, which he's played safety in the past, so we have it covered. We signed Alex Carter from the practice squad. We probably will boost up Alex Carter possibly here in the next couple of days. And we have some other guys to look at. So it'll be a good experience for some of those young guys to get some opportunities to play.
When you look at some of your younger players, guys like Adonis, maybe J.U., who have played on special teams but haven't played a ton on offense or defense, are there any guys like that in particular that you want to get a look at and want to get some more snaps?
There could be. I think the ultimate goal is to win the game and put our best players in place to do that. So I think, we're still reeling a little bit from the loss and being knocked out of the playoffs. It hurts a lot of people. But at the end of the day, our job is to put the best team on the field and try to get a victory against our division rival, one of them. So very important for us to do that. And J.U.'s done some good things, and he could get some more reps, as could Kidsey. But we still think Josh Doxson's a heck of a player when he needs to be out there. Jameson Crowder for sure. Michael Floyd's done some great things in the running game. And obviously have the ability to look at some different people could also be beneficial.
Jay, was this decision made by just you alone, or was this a consultation of different people in the front office? If it was just your decision, does that speak to possible extension for you to be here longer, or any?
No, it has nothing to do with anything. Any decision we make from a personnel standpoint, bringing people in, cutting people, put them on IR, it's a group decision. So We take every decision that we make very seriously. We have lots of talks about it and discussions, and at the end of the day, we're trying to do what's best for this organization moving forward in the long term. Whether I'm here or not, I don't know, but I know that we felt very strongly this is the right decision.
A couple guys on social media were pretty surprised that you guys did release him. Is that something that you address with the team? And then I guess just what kind of message do you think it sends to the rest of the group that, Swearinger was?
I don't know. I'm sure, when you have a guy that's been here a year and a half, 2 years, like, there's going to be some friendships that, are going to happen. And obviously there's a natural reaction to when you lose a good friend of yours and a pretty good player, and I didn't expect everybody to be happy about it. I wish it would have never happened, really, to be honest with you, because, I like DJ and I like what he brought to this football team, his energy and his passion and competitiveness. But at the end of the day, we just, can't have that. So I think everybody will learn from it, grow from it. At the end of the day, when you work for a company or you work for a team, it's best that you try to be positive with your remarks.
Jay, speaking of that, you said you hope everybody learns from it. Kind of going off of that, is that a situation where you need to make a message to the team to show how you guys work as an organization, what the standard is here?
Well, we have talked about our standards here, and I'd like to think we set high standards and goals for our organization, our football players, not just our teammates, our coaches, everybody. Obviously every decision we make and everything that comes out in the media that's a separate entity. This one here is its own entity again, and we felt like we had to address it not just for the players' sake, but for the team's sake.
I'm sorry, one more. I'm sorry. Is there anybody like Morgan, guys who have been playing but playing through injuries, who you may decide just to shut down considering playoffs aren't an option?
No, I think if they're going to have the ability to go, they're going to go. I think it's very, very important. This is pro football. If that were the case, I don't know if we'd have 50 guys or 40 guys to play. I think everybody's banged up to some degree. Trent's banged up a little bit. Morgan's banged up. Bergstrom, obviously, Chase Roullier's a little bit banged up. Our linebacker crew's a little bit banged up. So this is part of This is part of it. This is part of our guys, the type of guys we brought in here. Honestly, great competitive spirit. Tough time right now. Tough pill to swallow, not being in the playoffs without a doubt, but I do expect the type of guys that we have here to step up.
Coach, I have two questions for you. The first one is, what is the mindset going into Sunday, final game of the season, and a really strange season that you've been through, going through 4 quarterbacks, the players who've been let go, and all the different things that have gone on. So what's the mindset for the last game? What do you tell the team? That's question one.
Yeah, well, I think we tell our team, like I said, we have high standards for our team. We expect our guys to come out and compete. Anytime they put a Redskin helmet on, we expect great things from them individually and together as a team. Great focus, great energy, great passion for the game, without a doubt. That's number one. Number two is we have to set our goals high, and we have to try to figure out a way to beat Philadelphia and focus on what they do and try to come up with a plan to best put our players in positions to make plays and win the football game. That's the only thing we can do right now moving forward. Are we sick about the position we're in? Yes, we are. There's 15, 16 other teams that are in the same boat, and I expect they're going to go out and compete the last game of the year also. So it's no different here.
And the last question is, could you characterize what it's like having to come in here week after week and talk about things that really don't have a lot to do with football? I mean, I could think of a few words, but I don't want to put words in your mouth, because we're asking you about DJ before it was Ruben, before it was Mason, before it was quarterbacks with broken legs. I mean, what is it like for you to have to keep coming in here and talking about that as opposed to how your team is playing?
Yeah, obviously you don't want to talk about that stuff, off the field stuff. I'd rather talk about the upcoming opponent, which is a very good opponent. They just got Mike Wallace back. They had two good quarterbacks. Their offensive line's intact. Defense is playing extremely well. But when things happen, social media nowadays and microphones in players' mouths a lot. Sometimes you have to address certain things that you don't want to, but that's part of my job, and we try to communicate to our players, our staff, the right way to go about our business and keeping our business. And then, but unfortunately, we've had a few instances here that we would like to learn from and forget.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Josh, thanks for the conference call. We have Josh.
Yes, it is.
What's up, Josh?
How we doing?
Good. Obviously not the situation you want to be in right now, but how do you make sure everybody continues to keep the focus into this game against Philly?
I think as pros, this should be pretty easy for us. Me being a 10-year vet, I understand how this league works. Opportunities is very limited. So for us as a team, our motivation should be simple. We're playing against the defending Super Bowl champs. They're hot right now. They're playing great football. That's motivation one. Motivation two, one thing I've learned, you don't want to put bad things on tape because that'll carry you. This will be who you will be next year, whether it be on this team or any other team that's evaluating you, and this could ultimately affect your career. So my thing is to just lead by example, being a veteran guy, understanding how this league works. So, I mean, the motivation for me is easy. I mean, it should be for everybody, honestly.
Josh, I wonder if your perspective is different as a journeyman about the sort of turmoil going on with the Redskins right now, DJ just being let go and things that have gone on the last few weeks. What is your perspective and what do you say to your teammates?
I mean, it's simple for me. I learned quickly you control what you can control in this league. And for us, it's preparation. It's how we handle things on the field. We're not the decision makers, so that things are out of our control, that we should leave that in the hands of the decision makers. But for me, being a guy who's been on numerous of teams and experienced so many different situations, I think the biggest thing is always, like I just said, is to focus on what's the most important thing. And the most important thing is that game on Sunday, because the eye in the sky doesn't lie, and you just want to make sure that what you represent on that field is a product of what you feel comfortable with when they go into off-season and evaluating this roster as well as many others.
Obviously, this being kind of the last game and stuff, has anyone approached you about coming back for the spring, and what's kind of your mindset of trying to go, I guess because you have the AAF too, like how do you know kind of what's next for you in terms of just what lies ahead?
No, my main focus right now is Philadelphia Eagles. I can't really tell you what happens. I know this league changes every second. So for me, it's just making sure that I do every day, just keeping the same thought process, same preparation, making sure that we're doing what we need to do today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, to give us the best opportunity to win on Sunday. And then the chips will fall how they may, but I can't really worry about that until after the game. That'll kind of speak for itself, you know.
And following up with that question, you've won over the Redskins fan base, and a lot of them would like to see you come back. And I know that's something that's out of your control, but this being the last game, you have one more game of putting some tape out there. I mean, do you feel any more added pressure, or just you're going to approach it the same way you have every day?
I keep telling y'all, this is fun for me, man. I've been on the bench. I've been at home. I've been a lot of other places where I don't want to be. So every opportunity I get to go out there on that field, I'm excited. I'm going to enjoy this moment, most definitely. So, I just hope that all the fans come out and, be able to support us. I'm pretty sure Philly will be having a lot of fans in here. It's a big game for them as well. So I'd like to see a lot of burgundy and gold in the stadium because, we're going to go out there and give it our best effort to try to come away with a W. And it'd be no better for us to, have somebody come home with us, especially a team that won a Super Bowl last year. I feel like that'd be a good thing to feel good about going into the offseason.
Josh, I think what a lot of people are kind of wondering, maybe too, is when you're on the field, knowing you're putting tape up there, are you thinking about how's this going to be looked at by evaluators either here or other places? Or
I think I'm accustomed to that because that's the nature of this business. So I really can't really focus on that because, one team may think you're doing well, another team might not think you're doing that well. It's all about how they feel about their perception. So I think that's another situation that's out of my control. What I can control at the end of the day is how we go out there and make sure I do my part to help the Redskins get a position to win. So I'm just kind of really narrowing my focus like I've always done and just trying to focus on that for real.
If it's possible, would you want to come back here? Is this a place you liked? Is it?
Yeah, we got some wins and we got an opportunity. We played well in the past 2 games since I've been here. We played well. We fought hard. We won. We beat a good Jacksonville team, and then we came down to the wire with a Tennessee team. It just happened to just go our way. And I think this is another great opportunity to prove to us, to prove to not only ourselves, but to prove to people out there that we're not a bad football team at the end of the day. So if we go out there with a win on Sunday, beating the defending Super Bowl champs while they're playing great football, I think that would speak a lot about this team going into next year.
Josh, it seemed like that was your most complete offensive performance. I mean, obviously when you were under center too in Tennessee, how did that game just feel to you, and just what was it like, obviously being in that atmosphere for the first time in a while?
It was a great atmosphere, man. It was a very lively. You felt the tension of the game. Like you could feel like it felt like a playoff game. I've been in playoff games on the sideline, but being in that environment felt real similar. I just never actually got to play in that environment until Saturday. That was the first time. So it was a great learning lesson for me, and it was an opportunity that we want to be in again. We see what happens on Sunday, but I would love to be in situations like that all over again. That was really cool to be able to play that game in the situation and how it went down.
And lead up to, kind of you taking back over the starting job, you had said that you had kind of the expectations that you could still play, but it was a matter of getting the opportunity. Are you satisfied with your performance of the way that you feel like you could have expected it to go? Have you kind of lived up to what you wanted to kind of prove out there?
I'm probably my worst critic, honestly. So I see a lot more of the things that I could do better, and people tell me I need to stop doing that. But that's just by nature who I am. I just gotta hold myself very accountable. So if I feel like it's a problem, I always look at myself first and what I could have done different. So I've been happy about the fact that we've been able to be in position to win football games. That's my job first and foremost as a quarterback, to give us a chance to win, and we've been able to do that. Once the season's over, I'll probably reflect back on everything just to really take it all in and see how this season went. But right now, I'm really trying to stay as focused as possible because I feel like that's very necessary with the magnitude of this game that we got going on Sunday. And for me to lead by example, I think that's my job and my responsibility to make sure that I'm doing my part to get this team ready to go.
On Saturday, you had a touchdown drive where you actually had more than 100 yards of offense after the penalties lasted almost a full quarter. When you guys run, did it feel like that? Did you get the sense, like, as you're the 50 and the 40 coming in, like, man, we've been out here a really long time?
I think the linemen might have. They were working hard on Saturday, but I think what happened with that drive, we just kept playing, which was the beauty of it. We had false start. We had a good first play, then we had a false start, then we took a sack, and then we got a conversion, and then we just kept playing the next play. And I think that's kind of what's important in this game is to treat each situation as its own. You play that play for what it is and have the ability to move on, whether it be good or bad, to the next play, and then try to execute that one as good as possible. And then the next thing you know, you're down there in the red zone scoring touchdowns, and then we're excited. So I think if we keep that approach up, we'll be able to score more touchdowns. And but that drive was good. It was awesome for us to control the clock that way, really set the tempo for the game and what type of game it would be, and ended up being a great game.
I know you have a 24-hour rule. I mean, you were pretty upset about the way that the game ended the other day. Did you dwell on it over Christmas, or was it really a 24-hour rule?
No, I flushed it. I had to. Everybody made me, but I was pissed. I was pissed. I felt like I know I'm a better player than what I showed in that situation. So, but at the end of the day, I used Christmas as the opportunity to get ready on the Eagles. I mean, all my family is back home. They've been with me all year, so we was good. Christmas for me was a work day. My best Christmas present would be us getting a victory on Sunday.
Did you spend a lot of time on Christmas, studying film, or
I was
did you
here.
do Christmas?
I was here all day.
Were you really?
I was here all day. I've been with my family all year, bro. We good. They good.
Just want to ask real quick. I'm not sure if anyone's asked you this, but since you've been here, have you had a chance to talk to Alex at all, or get a chance to?
I haven't got to talk to A. Smitty, but I wish I could. Say if he watching this, what's up? We got to spend some time together in San Fran. Real good dude, man. And I'm sorry what happened to him. You hate to see good people have bad things happen to him, but I'm pretty sure his spirits is high and he gonna bounce back strong. Anyone else? Thank you, guys. All right.